everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Success Codes podcast. I am so excited. I have an amazing guest with me today. Her name is Sarah Sparks, and in full transparency, she sent me her bio, and it's a great bio. Nothing wrong with the bio. It is very on point with what many of us do, including myself. But this morning, when I was getting ready, after I printed it off on the old-fashioned printer, I was like, I just have this feeling that Sarah is bigger than this bio. And I really just asked the divine, what really would sum up Sarah? Because in the essence of this podcast is for busy spiritual entrepreneurs who are like, Melinda, let's cut to the chase. So I just put it out there and I started doing my hair. And what came back to me was that Sarah is a lighthouse. And in my Melinda words, I even included a motherfucker lighthouse. So she's a badass and she walks the walk. And what we're going to be talking about today is the release of her brand new book. And I'm going to kick it off to Sarah. So please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the journey with this book, 144 Wealth Codes.
Yes. Hello. Thank you for introducing me as a lighthouse. I will take that. Oh, goodness. Okay. So 144 Wealth Codes to Unlock the Abundance Within came to me early of 2022. And I'm not certain the day or how exactly it came about, but I heard the message from Divine, you're to channel 144 wealth codes to unlock the abundance within. I had no idea what wealth codes were. I know I heard them from a gal, Jen, and a gal, Victoria, two very enlightened, amazing women that I was part of another book with. And I was like, I know that they have said those words of wealth code. So I reached out to both of them and was like, is there a course I could take? Is there books? Something that I'm supposed to learn 144 wealth codes. I glazed past the I receive audibly and the channel. I just was like, I guess I'm supposed to learn these. And so I got on a call with both of them, and Jen was like, Sarah, I think you're actually supposed to channel them. That doesn't exist in our world currently. 144 wealth codes to unlock that's not channeled. And I was like, okay. And so I went on Amazon and Google and just kind of searched different wealth codes. And there are books and I don't know courses, but I saw different books on Amazon, but they were written from a financial planner, financial advisor, investment, masculine energy doing type of stuff. And there was a collection of stories around wealth codes that Jen ended up publishing with a group of authors in August of 2022. So she was like, well, I'm in the works of something, but not the codes, actually where they're located all over the body and the energetic system and the different concepts. And so throughout the year, I had various clients that Spirit's download these wealth codes for her. So I just started keeping a spreadsheet of different, on an Excel spreadsheet I just mapped out 1 through 144. But I gathered them, I downloaded them, I received them, whatever words we want to use. And it could be from 2 or 3 or 10, but they weren't one is blah, 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 blah. It was one, then what? Actually, 102 was the first one that came to me. And still, when I read it, I'm like, really, this should be number 1, but it's 102. Logic brain. I always my logical brain wanted to override this and be like, this doesn't make sense. Why would I touch here and then unlock this? And it's really this simple. Really, I just touch this spot and I can change an entire habit. I can be erasing generations of beliefs by just touching one spot and saying these words. Really, that's me. So I know that if it's me, other people will probably, think this. But the yearning that people have right now as a collective, that they are tired of doing, figuring things out. They want a different way of doing business. They want a different way, a more unique way of living life. They want to receive with ease. I don't know how many clients this year in 2023 that I received that were all asking me, how do you receive with ease? How do we receive with ease? I'm just tired of just having to force everything to happen. I want to receive with ease. And so it's the wealth codes. So
amazing. It's really cool. So just to give a little context, I'm going to put this in my words. So please feel free to correct me or tweak what I say. But Sarah's book, The 144 Wealth Codes, each code is basically a mantra, right? With an activity in terms of, touching your collarbone or your ears, even just visualizing your energy around you. And as I sit here, I light up like a Christmas tree. There is so much potent energy in this book. It's bananas. Like it really is.
It is. And it's cool to see because so if I may, I want to read a little bit what I channeled around, and I was reading it to a client who was asking me about this. And Spirit says, but why did I asked Divine, why did you choose me to channel these wealth codes? And actually, I was wrong. So the channeling was in November of 2021. We asked Sarah Sparks to vibrate at abundance because those coming to her in 2022 were wanting to step into their own abundance. And that is true. So in November of each year, I connect with the next year's energy around my business because one of my specialties is aligning the soul of the business with the business of the soul. And so then all of 2023, when people were wanting abundance, that's when I was channeling all these wealth codes. So now in 2023, people want to receive abundance with ease. So Spirit organized my life in 2022 so that I had the time and space to channel all the abundance codes. It was just so cool. But, and then someone had wanted to book on my podcast. And she said to me, I can't book right now. I can't record because I'm going to go to Australia to unlock my millionaire wealth code. And I was like, okay. I didn't respond. I responded with like, okay, cool. Let's connect when you get back. But I sat there for a moment and realized, wow, like people really do this. People really want to unlock, like other people know of wealth codes. I do not. And that is also, it's in the book of like why Spirit chose me. And they said that I was the purest channel through which to work because I really did not know anything. And I didn't know, which makes me sound like I have such qualifications to say this stuff. But for the last year, I have definitely felt like I would be Moses talking to a burning bush, receiving. Like he was like, in biblical stories and stuff, the depiction of him was like, why are you choosing me? Like, I don't know about this. That's kind of how I felt. And not in like an imposter way, like, oh, I can't do this. I'm not worthy of it. Not like that at all. It was like, sure about this? Like, I know a couple other chicks who really know about wealth codes. We can go ahead and like, maybe they could do it. And so it's like, no, you literally don't know anything. And then I don't know kinesiology. So I don't know like different points of the body. So if you're reading the book and I'm like, the collarbone, 3 inches down, the sternum, heart chakra area. Like, I don't even quite know where the chakras are. I know the general area. Or like Spirit's like underneath the ribs. I'm like, I just said underneath. Or like different organs. I'm like, okay, we're going to go with this. I'm not quite sure where to touch because I'm not sure where the organs are at. So I'm probably like calling myself out on this, but I'm just showcasing that, when you're given a divine assignment, follow through because you never know where it's going to lead you. By the time I channeled the last 14, and they were the last 14, the last one is 144, and it is oneness. Mm-hmm. If you read through each of the phrase to unlock is together as one. We unlock wealth code, whatever, now. So very simple. Mm-hmm. The whole point of that is Spirit told me 4 things that have been key to my success up to this point. The 5th one is the only one that matters. Moving into success from here on out. And this was beginning of 2023. And it was partner with divine. From here on out, there's only oneness. And if we're going to change the planet, if we're going to change the energy, if we're going to change the whole collective, if we're going to change the consciousness, we have to realize that we are one. If we are not one in this planet, on this planet, and we have an inequitable, unbalanced system, then we cannot possibly be one. So yes, we have a consciousness of one, but this piece of work is showcasing that together as one, you and divine, you can unlock, change, receive an entire generation's genes, everything that if you so desire. So the together as one. So 144 is oneness. What is so very cool about oneness is when I began my spiritual journey, my husband gave me a hard time and said, you can't really find a job because I was searching for a job. You can't find a job because you have no principles to stand on, Sarah. You need to have principles. And I was like, screw you, buddy. But then again, that's just how we communicate. He wasn't being an ass or anything. That's just how, we like the honesty. Yeah. And so then that evening we went to a spiritual gathering, spiritual Bible study, not Billy Bible, but book study. And we each had to draw words out of this basket. And I drew the word out of the basket and it was principle. Not shocking. So I was like, fine, Spirit. And I was a personal assistant at this time, working for an author and or author coach. I was thinking job full-time with benefits. Why can't I find this job? I really had one, but at the time, so she gave me this book, and it was just this little Think Big book, and it has all blank pages. So I sat down that next morning after drawing that word principle, and I was like, fine, Spirit, my sassy little way, because I obviously know how to talk with Spirit. And I was like, fine, Spirit, if I had principles, how many? 9. 9? Could we start with 3 and build upon there? No, you have 9. I was like, all right. Well, what are they? So here's a little book.
Oh my goodness.
It's a little book. And I guess it says Think Very Big. And there are not too many things written in this book except for the 9 principles, and you really can't see it. So 2 different pages. And so the first principle is respect and honor the one source within me, creator. I grew up Catholic. Not that really matters anymore, but I say that because I didn't use the word creator in my language at the time. I still attended a Catholic church, even though I was waking up to my own spirituality and things. But I didn't use the word creator. I didn't use respect and honor the oneness within me. I didn't use those words. So I knew that they were coming from a source somewhere but my own brain. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that because the last wealth code to be unlocked was the first thing that I received. So the last becomes the first. And then it worked backwards. Oneness, respect, or honor, respect. I can't quite remember. I guess I could look them up. But I just noticed, I was like, wait a second, what are you doing? Unlimited gratitude, be, do, have, no love, be patient. It goes backwards. Giving yourself permission to be free. It goes backwards from 144 on up. And then it's also included in there are the 5 steps to listen to divine guidance, which is allow, ask, receive, trust, act. Those are the last bits are all the concepts. So when someone's reading it, it's not the rest of the book is there might be a point on your forehead 2 inches above, that's the location. But the last bit are concepts, and those all were divinely given to me to learn. So I first received the 9 principles, to live by, which ultimately Create the Spark, my business. I taught those for years after living them myself. Then my soul told me, you're here to teach professionals, business owners, and leaders how to lead with their soul by listening to their divine guidance. So I was being judgy to a group of people who couldn't talk with Jesus at a Christian goal setting workshop. And I was like, why am I being judgy to them? And Spirit's like, well, you can talk to divine, but not everybody can. I was like, well, how do you talk to divine? There's 5 steps: allow, ask, receive, trust, act. So then that became the next foundation. So when I was channeling these wealth codes and I had the last 14 left, I was like, what is going on? Like, why can I not get these? And Spirit's like, you already have. The first becomes the last.
Wow. That's so cool how it came full circle.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh my gosh.
So that should also tell us
the trajectory
that we need to listen first and foremost. Because when we're given something, even if it's go eat an apple, that apple may have a snowball effect down the way. If it is, so then things that I learned 12 years ago have now came full circle, and they keep building upon each other. So that also tells me that my divine plan has already been laid out for me. It's my responsibility to get into alignment with it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's really amazing. And just to add to that, I mean, in full transparency to the audience, like you and I have never spoken before.
Oh, no.
We don't know each other. We don't know the same group, but I'm new in the group and I don't really do all the things that, everyone does just because of my time and what I have going on. And so we haven't connected, and you live in South Carolina, right? And I'm in Florida Keys. So we're in Florida Keys. So I'm part of the Miami chapter, like in person. Okay. So for everyone out there, like, I don't know Sarah. So I was literally in the middle of rebranding, driving to the airport. Well, first, let me back up. I saw your post, and because I'm an author and I respect fellow authors and understand the book launching process, and then I saw the title, I was like, well, that's interesting. I was like, click, sign me up. And then I downloaded it and was like, oh my goodness, this is like amazing and makes sense. And then I started to do them and I could feel my energy shift like immediately. And I was like, this is like freaking genius. I love it. This is amazing. Thanks, Divine. Thanks, Sarah. And then I, moved on with my day. And then when I was driving up to the airport on Saturday, I was literally like nothing going on in my brain. And all of a sudden it was like, ask Sarah to be your first guest on your relaunch of the podcast. And I was like, sure. So, and then I got to the airport and I messaged you and you said yes. I was like, perfect. Yay. So yeah, so I believe in listening, and it is a huge thing. I know working with my clients, like I tell them, like, listen and then be grateful, and then you'll get more. Like to your point, it is a building process, and a lot of people do wish to open up their intuition and do wish to connect more with the divine, their spirit team, however they want to put it. And it's a process of clearing through a lot of crap, at least for me, blocks and junk in my brain and overthinking, and then just like going with it and building over time. So, and
there's a wealth code for that.
Yeah, and I have to say with the wealth codes, and I can't wait to get like a copy because it's a tool. Like this, people, is a tool. This is a tool. Like you want to have this tool on your bookshelf. Like this isn't like a read it and put it away. Like this is a tool. So when I was, trying my best with the PDF, I was like, gosh, there's so many different like topics. In wealth, people think of money, right? But wealth is everything. It's our health, it's our happiness, it's our peace, it's our joy, like it's everything. And like there's like habits, there's all sorts of things that you have.
Wealth code 18, everybody remembers. It's wealth code 18 and it's about habits. And you can turn off and on the habits that you want. And it's right. So the collarbone on the right-hand side, in the middle, right below the collarbone. And everybody that I talked, the habits one. And I was like, I know, because we all have habits we don't want. Yes. We're like, oh, on.
Yes, and that is one that I noted for sure. And then it's funny how you mentioned a little bit ago about the parts of the body. I think you have at least one. So I think you have like a smiley face where you mentioned like I was dying laughing.
I took it off because I'm like, I don't know if that's appropriate or not. I just took it off today when I'm uploading the book because I was like,
no, keep it.
It is. It's right where the hips meet the legs. And so it's kind of like at that hip socket area, but not the hip socket itself, because that's a whole nother thing. But so I was like at the underwear line. Again, that's it. Very technical terms. That's me, very technical.
I saw that. I was like, I love this. This is amazing.
And then when I wrote it, and that's why I put the smiley face, because I'm like, some people don't wear underwear.
I didn't even think of that, but that's very good too, actually. And that's the thing is, one of my goals in life is to like have more fun and laugh more. And I just really appreciate this conversation because this is what we're doing. We're like laughing and you're like making fun of yourself a little bit in a fun way that is the context of the book. So when people read the book, then they'll be like, oh, there was that section that Sarah was telling me about. And then they'll laugh. And then, things feel better.
I know somebody who doesn't have all 10 fingers. So 110 through 119, when you're supposed to put your fingers together and form this circle and kind of like pulsate them back and forth, and then that opens all 10, 9, whatever codes it is. And I was like, oh yeah, well, they'll do their best. Or I was like, what if they don't have limbs? And so I was like, so for some of them, I was like, just imagine that you can touch that spot. It's all, you can, your attention. Yeah. Like, or there was one that was like reproductive organs and spirit. And I was like, Spirit, some people might not have reproductive organs. And Spirit's like, you can still visualize that area or even touch that area. It's okay. It's just the intention of it. Or there's some spots that I was trying to understand and I was trying to explain my best. And so I had to even look them up on like a skeleton, and it's behind the shoulders on the left and right side. And there's like this bone that kind of comes out, but it's like this little dip down in between there. I know that's not helpful, but you have to read the book because I actually look up like what it's called and things. Where was I heading there with that one? Shoot, I lost my train of thought. But there are some that I'm like, even if you cannot locate it, just kind of ask like, where is wealth code 19? So you're in the general area, and then all of a sudden your hand and your body will know, and it would just be like, stop, and then you'll just kind of feel it. So
cool. That is really cool. Yeah. What would you say, because we all know people like this, right? And anyone out there, if this is you, like, don't take it too personal. But some people may go, 144, that's like a lot. And they may get like in their head thinking this is some massive project, right? Which it is not. How would you just kind of explain to people? Like, what's a great way to use your book in Sarah's words?
Oh, well, I think I even put it in the, I was trying to find the actual overthinking. I still have to cross. Okay, so we're going to go to wealth code 95, forehead near the hairline. So you can just kind of touch up here. And the affirmation to unlock this wealth code is no more overthinking. I clear my mind and allow in ideas and resources that bring in full abundance and wealth now. And then you touch it and it just stop the movement. Connected directly with divine through the crown chakra, together as one. We unlock wealth code 95 now. And then feel that expansion of that spot, that wealth code open up. So I would say that.
Good. That's good. You got it. That's good.
Like essential oils. Like essential oil peeps are like, I got an oil for that. I feel like I'm like, I got a wealth code for that. I'm one of those people. Anyhow, I'm just being funny and silly.
Yeah. That's so good.
So what I would do if 144 feels too overwhelming, it did. Honestly, when I was told you need to channel 144 wealth codes, I was like, I have a life. 100 again, 9 principles. Can we start with 3? Yeah, sure. You can start with one. So point is, it's in the book of like how to use these wealth codes. What I would recommend is have it be part of your daily inspiration, daily meditation, your daily connecting time. For those people who come to me or you and like, how do I listen to my divine guidance? This is a great way, a great tool to practice that. So what I would do is just ask. You can ask your like, what do you connect with first and foremost? Do you connect with God, source, creator, spirit, the universe, higher self, soul, body? Like, what is it that you connect with? Connect. And then be like, all right, what wealth codes need to be unlocked today? If you're like, what wealth code needs to be unlocked today? There's 144 of them. You can do it for 2 years. I don't care. I mean, or 12 times 12. You can do 12 a month and 3 a week. It's 144 is absolutely perfect. I was like, Divine, you're amazing. And so what wealth code should be unlocked today? Receive a number. It's 1 through 144. So just whatever number comes to your mind first and foremost. Ooh, 72. All right, let's go to 72. Open up 72 and then you find the location, say the affirmation to unlock the wealth code. And I put in the book, because I was doing it myself and I was trying to like articulate, which amazes me when people can sit down at all one setting and do all of them at once. It's way too much energy for me. So I like to break it into chunks. So I might be one of those overthinkers. But I like to not just read the affirmation to unlock, but each word embody. And then feel into the energy. And then once I feel into that spot of wherever it is at that you're unlocking, then together as one, and I connect with divine. And I can feel my crown chakra at the top of your head. If you don't know what crown chakra is, it is an energy center just hovering above your head a little ways, and you're connecting with divine. Again, divine could be God, source, greater spirit, I don't care what you call it. But divine is what divine told me to call it. And so just plug in like your actual an outlet, and you're plugging into divine. So together as one, plug in, we unlock and go back to that location like it's a padlock, and just unlock this wealth code now. And it's in the book of like unlock 72 now. So that's how I recommend those who feel like 144 is overwhelming and where I have to do it. I did have somebody come to me and ask me during one of the channelings. I just feel really stuck. So I channel and I have Talk with Spirit Tuesdays in the Woman Up community that I lead. People are able to post a question and I channel the answer. She was asking me, how do I get unstuck? I feel stuck in my business. I feel stuck in my personal life. I just really feel like I can't move forward. I feel like that's a very common thing that people ask.
For sure. Yeah.
So this person should not feel alone. And yet she also emailed me the same day and said, I just have I just feel really anxious about even opening the wealth codes. So if you're feeling stuck, what are you willing and not willing to do? Yeah. If we can't even open an email or click on a PDF, that might tell you a lot about why you may be stuck. Because these wealth codes aren't, I know people don't know me, but I hope through this podcast and through these wealth codes, I don't know, I'm a perfect blend of professional and spiritual. Spirit has said to me, you've got a level head for leadership and a heart for healing. And it's true. Like, I have my master's, I have my bachelor's, I've got training design certificates. I've got whatever. I've been an ordained minister. Like, there are things that are both. Why I say that is these wealth cards aren't anything to be scared of. Because they're coming from someone who is just wanting the very best for you, not someone who just is out in left field, but I'm very grounded in who I am, very grounded into earth and what is here, but I'm not of earth. I might be on it, but I'm not of it. I think there's a difference. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm throwing down?
I get you, girl. Yeah. And another one that's in the beginning, just for the context of what you're saying too, is just I'm abundance. It's got like the play on the abundance like 3 times within the code. And so yeah, they're simple, they're and I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just trying to explain to someone else who may be like, oh, this is, I'm like, no, these are things that you should be saying, people. Like these are things that should be going on in your head. Like positive things.
People want to receive with these. They want wealth, they want abundance. Mm-hmm. It's energy. A constant emotion stays in motion. So a constant thought and feeling of something will keep it in motion in the direction that you really want to head in. So if you do want to unlock these wealth codes and receive the abundance and wealth and prosperity and insert all the words that you want, then constant thought and feeling of it will get you there.
Yes, so true. So true. A couple other really quick questions too, for just context for those, I'm a doer. So there are things that I feel like other people out there could benefit from. So you have done amazing videos, little clips on Facebook and Instagram. And I would be putting all of this in the show notes, everyone, like all of Sarah's background, about her podcast, all the things. So feel free to, read the show notes and dive in and connect with Sarah. And when I did the wealth codes, my personal choice is I like to kind of sit in each one. So I pick like 2 to 3 and I kind of sit in each one. And I also, my energy shifts very quickly. So I want people to know that may not happen for you right away, in my opinion, just like meditation, right? So some people, they try to meditate, they can't quiet their mind, they never quite can get into the zone. Well, it takes practice to get to the level where you can shift your energy super fast, get in the zone super fast, clear your mind super fast. Like all those things take practice. So, so anyone out there, if you buy this book and you think like, oh my gosh, all these things are going to happen, like Melinda's talking about, well, you may have to practice. You may have to like do them consistently over time, and then you'll see the shifts. And so I want people to know that and be grounded in that. When you're talking about grounded, like just be grounded in that. It's part of doing the work in terms of, opening up your gifts. And feel free to add to that. So
practice equals progress.
People out there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I channeled them. And I will continue to practice them because, there's 3 stages of growth, and it's awareness, understanding, and knowing. And until something is embodied and you truly know, I am abundance I am, which is the one that I think you were referring to.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If you're like, what the hell does that mean?
I can't pay my credit card bills. Yeah.
Oh, like what the hell, Sarah Sparks? Like, well, you're just having awareness of it. Congratulations. It might take a little bit for you to have an understanding, and definitely take a little bit to have a knowing.
Yes. And
we're going to keep going.
I know I have, for sure.
It's fine. Yeah. Just keep going with it. And I like to do this. So I like to take aligned action. So you're a doer, and you like the action. So these codes get you into alignment with what it is that you desire. It starts shifting your energy. Then at that spot, then be like, okay, what's next? What soul, if you can connect with soul, then soul, what do you have already laid out for my day? Who am I to connect with? What is the marketing I'm supposed to be doing today? What is the best approach at receiving 5 new clients, 10 new clients? What is the best approach to receiving an extra 100K in this month? Like, what is it that I need to do? Where do I need to go? How do I need to show up? Who needs to hear from me? Bam, receive. Again, allow us, receive, trust, act. And if anybody is like, Sarah Sparks, you're going too fast, well, then reach out to me, and I've got courses and all the fun things, but but so I like to get into alignment with the wealth codes and then take that aligned action. And I feel like anybody who is around in this vibration, in this alignment, we spark that soul into alignment, action, and abundance. At least that's what I have my tagline on my on my website. I like that because it's not just meditation and this alignment, but there's also that aligned action that goes with it, and then the reality that comes into play. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally does for me, because maybe about 2 years ago, I started as a practice before I get out of bed in the morning to, give my gratitude rituals, and then also say, what do I need to know today? So a lot of people can't, that I have worked with personally for my clients, like remember to do that, or they are like, I got to get going. I got to take care of my kids. I'm like, literally, this takes like a minute, but whatever, it's fine. We'll get there someday. What I like in terms of what you said to tag onto that is having like an actual, book, a tool that is like, oh, no, I have to do that. So it's actually kind of an action that then puts you into aligned action to take the action. So it's like an interesting, like, level.
And you can always go to Wealth Code 18. Hey, let's turn on the habits.
The habits. Yes. So good.
I'm now
touche.
Bracelets and t-shirts. So I got a code for that.
I got a code for that. Oh my God. I'm gonna always remember you for that. I got a code for that. So good. Oh my God. I love it.
Thank you so much for this conversation.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. I was going to say, if there's anything else you want to share, you feel we missed. And again, everyone, I'll put Sarah's information in the show notes. Today, when this podcast is releasing, is the release of her book. So go to Amazon and get it. It's Lionsgate. So let's do this. And yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So anything else you want to share?
No, I mean, if we did miss anything, I'm sure someone will tell us.
Yes, and please do. If you're watching this on YouTube, please comment. I would love to see the comments, and please share. Like, sharing is everything in this world. So share. And,
I am so thankful for you, for the launch team. I mean, I'm not a person to ask for help, and this has definitely proven. Over 60 people in the launch team.
Amazing. It's so good.
Cool.
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. So, well, congratulations. I'm very excited for you. I'm honored to know you now. And thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.